Okay, I thought I should make this a quick video because Sylvia asked me a question early today about how big a signal is considered big, and my answer is there was no absolute measurement, or there was no absolute measure of how big is big. Uh, well, that statement is not 100% true. I lied a little. Okay. So the best way to look at this is to use an indicator. I think I have this indicator with Nicholas. It's called the ADR indicator. ADR stands for average daily range. Okay. You can see what it means is this number 90.9% means today price has moved 90.9% of what it's supposed to move on average for the last 14 days. Okay. What this ADR means, okay, for example, today it moved 109 pips. That's what it means. Today 109 means 109 pips. So if you measure this candle, okay, from the top of this candle to the bottom of this candle, okay, here you see 1106, right? Because it's approximation, because I'm dragging this mouse. It's not too accurate, you know. But if you measure it, this candle, you will get 109 pips. Okay, the size of this candle from the top to the bottom. So what it means is today we have moved 109 pips from the top to the bottom, and what that represents is 90.9% of the average daily movement. Okay, which means if you add up, for example, here, okay, one day 138. Okay, what it means is yesterday it moves 138 from the top to the bottom. Okay, it's 138. Okay, one day. 5 day means the average of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take the average range, so the average candle range, you average it out. Friday, the average of these candles, the size of the candle is 124 pips. 10 days is 128 pips, and 20 days, if average the past 20 candles, the average is 112 pips. So today we move 109. Actually, come think about it, I'm not so sure this 90.1, is it the it's relative to which of these? Okay, I'm not sure this is relative to yesterday, or is relative to 5 days average, or is relative to 10 days average, or relative to 112, or 20 days average. I don't know. I can do a calculations. Let's see. 109 divided by let's say 109 divided by 138, right? 78. So 90.9 is not relative to yesterday. Okay, so if it's relative to 124, 90, no, not relative to 5 days. 128, 90, no. One, 112, nope. So 90.9 is not, is the 109 divided by something, not any of this. I suspect is divided by a 14 days average. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So take the past 14 candles, the average of it, and the average of it, and then basically use 109 divided by that average, will give you a 90.9%. Okay, so how do we use this number? Okay, it's important to know that Okay, for example, I was talking about these candles. There is a setup here, right? That candle. There was a setup. This is the base candle, and this candle drop, big drop. So we have a setup. Now the question to ask is, okay, this is such a huge candle, right? Because from the signal candle to the stop loss is about 113. Okay, and if you look at how far that candle has moved today, you know, at this point in time, it moved from, I mean, it dropped, it moved from here all the way to the top. 113, sorry, 133 pips. Okay, and you know that for the past 10 days, the average is 128. So this movement from that top to that bottom, okay, it's already exceeding your average range for the past 10 days, for the past 20 days. So the question now you need to ask yourself is, how likely is it for price to continue to drop? Okay, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely for price to continue to drop. And most likely, you know, when price makes an ADR, okay, it will reverse big time. And as you can see, you know, it makes this ADR from the top to the bottom. And what price did? It make a major reversal before it came down again. Okay, that is a major reversal. Okay, we are talking about that reversal. I mean, it's more than 61%. Okay, and even if you see, I mean, if you look at this day, I mean, this is 1 day. Okay, this is H1. So between these two vertical dotted line, this is 1 day. Okay, so actually, if you look at this carefully, the start of the day, well, actually the range is from this point. Okay, this is the lowest point of the day, and this is the highest point of the day. Okay, so price actually moved from here to here. How big is this? I should not use this one. I should use this one. How big is this range? 179. Okay, when prices make 179 pips, and you know that for the past 20 days, past 10 days, past 5 days, the average is only 120 plus, but it has made 179 pips. How likely it is for price to continue to go up? Very unlikely. That's why price make a major retrace. Okay, that retrace, it's that we already know, right? You know, that retrace is 134 pips. That retrace again has already exceeded the ADR. Okay, so after it exceeded the ADR, what did price do? It did another major retrace. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that look for the ADR. Okay, look for the ADR, and when you get a signal, okay, ask yourself, how much has price traveled on that day, at that moment? Like here, okay, we got a signal. Okay, we have a signal. Okay, and then you need to ask yourself, okay, wait, from here to here, how much has price traveled? Okay, to here actually, because price actually dropped to here before it retraced. Okay, now if the answer is, hey, price has traveled more than an ADR, okay, so the question now you need to ask yourself, how likely it is for price to continue to go? It's very unlikely. Most of the time, price is going to make a major retrace, like what it did. Okay, and likewise, we have a big signal here. Look at here. We got a big signal, huh? Right? From here to here. This is a big signal. Look at this. Okay. And you ask yourself, from here to here, actually should be from the tips of it to here, 136. So that from here to here is 136. It's exceeding our average daily range. How likely it is for price to continue to go up? Very, I mean, I would say is unlikely, which means more than 50% of the time you are going to see price will do a major reversal, which is what it's doing now. Yeah, you see, price is doing a major reversal relative to yesterday's range, right? That's what it's doing. So when you ask, okay, how do we know that a signal is too big? A short answer, you look at the ADR, okay? If when you see the signal, price has already traveled the ADR, then you know, okay, hey man, I better not entering here, okay? I better wait for a major retrace before I enter, because price has already traveled, you know. On the other hand, if you know the ADR, let's say the ADR is is like this, 124, 128, and your signal is a small one. It's only here. Okay, so you have a small signal like this. Hypothetically, yeah, I'm not talking about this one. Hypothetically, and then you measure. You say, oh, my signal is only 30 pips. Then you can tell yourself, or you can ask yourself, okay, my average daily range means, on average, I can expect price to travel 124, 28 pips. Okay, but so far price has only traveled 32 pips. So how likely it is for price to go and travel another 90 pips or 80 pips, 90 pips or 100 pips, right? It's very likely. So when you have a signal that is small, relative to the ADR, is a good signal. When you have a signal that is very big, already bigger than the ADR, that is not a good signal. Yeah, we should not be entering there. We should wait for a major retrace. Yeah, and then we enter. Okay, that's all I want to say. And you will notice that when you put this indicator, every pair will have a different ADR. Yeah, pound Japanese yen obviously is going to move much faster. I mean, okay, here, look at this. Euro CAD is, let's say, 20 days average 112, right? Let's look at pound Japanese yen, fast moving pair, 120. Here, look at this. 5 days, 161. Look at this. 1 day, 178. Very different, right? Very different. Even though on 20 days it doesn't look that much different, but on 10 days, 15 days, 10, 5 days, and 1 day, it looks very different. I would tend to use the 10 days. Yeah, I'll tend to use 10 days. 10 to 14 days. Yeah, 14 days is not shown here, but use the 10 days. Pound, you see, pound dollar is 87, 84. There are difference. Every pair will have a different ADR. Yeah, so there's no absolute measurement, but a good rule of thumb is you measure it against its own ADR. Okay, let me pause the video now.